Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna
वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Nandpuri Vaishnav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining the Srimad Bhagavatam call and sorry for stopping your ecstatic chanting. So now we'll start the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Before that, I would like to read a quote by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says, because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by a Supreme Personality of Godhead, one need not read any other Vedic literature. One need only attentively and regularly read Bhagavad Gita. So that's from Srimad Bhagavad Gita introduction. So may I know who all have joined the call today?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Sri Prabhupada Maharaj. This is Nikunj Rasadas from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanva Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Pooja from Sydney.
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji, Dhanva Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call.
Hare Krishna, my dear Prabhu and all the assembled devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamarasi Padedasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanva Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call. Today we are very fortunate. We have His Grace Sarvdrik Das Prabhuji from Mayapur, India. And Prabhuji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, verse number 53. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanva Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. You may take over the call when you are ready, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Please accept my obeisances. Good morning, all devotees. Hope you're keeping warm. It's quite cold here in Mayapur. But not when it gets to be, 50 degrees here, Fahrenheit, people, oh, bitter cold, intolerable cold. They don't know what the East Coast is. They don't know what snow drifts are and below zero temperatures. So anyway, it's cold here, but not like you're cold. So today we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We're very fortunate to be hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, Text 53 and 54. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat. Nashtapreshabhateshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Krishna Swadamo Bhagate Dharma Jnana Divi Saha. Kalo Nashtati Shamesha Puranako Dunodita. Yata Susupta Purusho Vishwam Pashyati Chatmani. Atmanamekadeshastam Manyate Swapna Uttitaha. Evam Jagaranadini Jivastanani Chatmana Maya Matrani Vigyaya Tadrashtaram Param Smaret. Yata, just as Susupta, sleeping, Purusha, a person, Vishwam, the whole universe, Pashyati, perceives, Cha, also, Atmani, in himself, Atmanam, himself, Ekadeshastam, lying down in one place. Manyate, he considers, swapne, in the dreaming condition, utitaha, waking up, evam, this way, jagarana adini, the states of wakefulness, and so on. Jivastanani, the living entities, different conditions of existence. Cha, also. Atmanaha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maya matrani, the exhibitions of the illusory energy, illusory potency. Vigyaya, knowing. Tat, of them. Drashtaram, the creator or seer of all such conditions. Param, the Supreme. Smaret, one should always remember. Translation. When a person is in deep sleep, he dreams and sees himself many other objects, such as great mountains and rivers, or perhaps even the entire universe, although they are far away. Sometimes when one awakens from a dream, he sees that he is in a human form, lying in his bed in one place. Then he sees himself in terms of various conditions as belonging to a particular nationality, family, and so on. All the conditions of deep sleep, dreaming, and wakefulness are but energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should always remember the original creator of these conditions, the Supreme Lord, who is unaffected by them. Report by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. None of these conditions of the living entities, namely deep sleep, dreaming, and wakefulness, is substantial. They are simply displays of various phases of conditional life. There may be many mountains, rivers, trees, bees, tigers, and snakes that are situated far away, but in a dream, one may imagine them to be nearby. Similarly, as one has subtle dreams at night, when the living entity is awake, he lives in gross dreams of nation, community, society, possessions, skyscrapers, bank balance, position, and honor. Under the circumstances, one should know that his position is due to his contact with the material world. One is situated in different positions in various forms of life that are all but creations of the illusory energy which works under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is the ultimate actor, and the conditioned living entity should simply remember this original actor, Sri Krishna. As living entities, we are being carried away by the waves of Prakriti, or nature, which works under the Lord's direction. Mayadhyakshena Prakriti Sayatesa Characharam. Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, text 10. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Miche Mayar Bhashe Bhakchacha Beshe Kacha Habudububai. Why are you being carried away by the waves of the illusory energy in various phases of dreaming and wakefulness? These are all creations of Maya. Our only duty is to remember the supreme director of the illusory energy, Krishna. For us to do this, the Shastra advises Harinama, Harinama, Harinama Eva Kevalam. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, chapter 17, text 21. One should constantly chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Supreme Lord is realized in three different phases as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. But Bhagavan is the ultimate realization. One who realizes Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, is the most perfect Mahatma. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sadurlava. Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, text 19. In the human form of life, one should understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For then one will understand everything else. Kasmin tu bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam bhavati. Bhavatiti. Mukunda Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad. Chapter 1, text 3. According to this Vedic injunction, simply by understanding Krishna, one understands Brahman, Paramatma, Prakriti, the illusory energy, the spiritual energy, and everything else. Everything will be revealed. Prakriti, the material nature, is working under the directions of the Supreme Lord, and we living entities are being carried away by various phases of Prakriti. For self-realization, one should always remember Krishna. As stated in Padma Purana, Smartabhyo satatam Vishnu. One should always remember Lord Vishnu. Vismartabhyo najatu chit. One should never forget the Lord. This is the perfection of life. Oma jnana timirantasya jnananjana shalakaya. Chakshurunmikten tanjena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Hayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaguna Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Sabhadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Cha Panchakopatubhischa Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. In the first part of this purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about remembering Krishna. Second part, he makes tells us some very important information about Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality's ultimate feature as the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. But let us first consider his statements about remembering Krishna. This is all-important activity in Krishna consciousness, smaran. Smaran comes from shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam. If we don't hear properly about Krishna, how can we chant about Krishna? And if we don't chant about Krishna, how will we remember him? If I ask you, please tell me something about my family, about my brother, my sister. Do I have one? Do I have a brother? Do I have a sister? Tell me about my family. What can you say? You've not heard about my family. No need to hear about my family. But in this example, because you haven't heard about my family, what can you say about my family? So hearing about Krishna is very, very important. Because if we don't hear about him, the foundation of our spiritual life is hearing about Krishna. Because without hearing, how can we chant? How can we say anything about Krishna? Chant whose glories? What are the glories of Krishna? We have to hear to know the glories of Krishna. Then from hearing, chanting, then smaranam. So there's a progression. The whole process of smaranam is based on kirtanam. There is a class of devotee who simply want to sit in a sacred place and do Ashtakaliya Lila Smaranam, to remember the eightfold pastimes of the Lord. This is a very wonderful thing. But without kirtanam, it's not possible. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said the life of Smaranam is kirtanam. So what is our motto? Like every company has its motto. What is the company? They make tennis shoes. Nike. Nike's motto, just do it. And they put this on their package with their logo, just do it. This is Nike's motto. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, we have a motto also. What is that? Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Let there be all glory, let there be all victory to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. And this is our motto. So to chant properly, to chant the holy name properly, we have to hear about Krishna. And this is very applicable in our daily exercise of japa. Because japa doesn't mean just making a noise with our mouth and letting our mind wander, letting our mind occupy itself in some other thing besides the duty, the activity at hand, which is to hear Krishna's name and remember Krishna. Otherwise, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said this is just a combination of letters. There's a story he told in this regard. He and his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, were passing through the area here in Mayapur and stayed over in Kulia. Kulia means the present-day Navadvip. Actual Mayapur is this side, on the east side of Ganga, not west side of Ganga. This is actual Navadvip. Original historical Navadvip was here in present-day Mayapur. And across the river, Kulia. So Saraswati Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur were traveling. They needed a place to stay. They rented one place and they spent the night there. The residents were very, very surprised that how is it possible that you spent the night in that place? Everyone knows it's haunted by a very powerful Brahma Rakshasa. And anyone who stays there either runs screaming from the place or dies. How is it possible you stayed there? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, we saw, but by the vibration of the holy name of Krishna, he had to leave. And the conversation went to what was this person in his previous life? And the residents of Kulia said he was a priest in his previous life. And he'd committed some greatly sinful act, and he was cursed to become Brahma Rakshasa. So they asked Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how is it? He's a priest. All day long he's chanting mantras, he's chanting holy name. How is it he's taken the birth as a ghost, as a Brahma Rakshasa? Bhaktivinoda Thakur answered with gravity that he's become this because of his sinful life, and that his chanting was not chanting of the name, rather chanting of the syllables of the name. The syllables ha, re, ka, sha, na, Krishna does not constitute the holy name. Holy name is living, breathing personality. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also said at one point, he said that when I leave this world, the holy name of Krishna will take me by the hand and take me back to Goloka. What does this mean? What is the purport? That the holy name of Krishna has hands. He has beautiful reddish lotus feet decorated with beautiful ankle bells. He has Pitambara Dhoti. The holy name wears a beautiful forest garland. The holy name wears beautiful earrings in his hair. The holy name has beautiful blackish curling hair and beautiful lotus eyes. The holy name wears a peacock feather. This is the personality of the holy name. But if we're chanting and our mind is drifting here and there as it likes to do, then this is not chanting. This is namaparad, inattentive chanting. Inattentive chanting can liberate us, but prema will remain far away unless we learn this art of remembering Krishna, of fixing our mind on Krishna. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita gives instruction, yato yato nischalati manaschanchalamastiram tatastato nayam yatad atman eva vashamne. To whatever and wherever your mind wanders, to its flickering and unsteady nature, one should drag it back and bring it under control of the self. This is the exercise of japa every day. To hear Krishna, to remember Krishna, and chant Krishna. And someone may say, what's so hard about that? Our response is, try it. The process is very simple. You get one mala, and you repeat this mantra, one bead, one mala, one bead, one mala, one bead, and you sit and you make this sound and you hear. The process is very, very easy, but the application is very difficult. To bring our mind to Krishna. So this requires what? Requires practice. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa na anyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati partanu chintayan. Abhyasa means practice. Abhyasa yoga chetasa na anyagamina. Chetasa na anyagamina, not allowing our chetas, our consciousness, to go to any other thing. This is called mantra meditation, dhyana. This is remembrance, smaranam. So japa means this smaranam. And this is the process, this is the essential process of chanting Krishna's name. Because this is the yoga dharma. Bhagavatam says, Kaler doshanene rajaneko yasti mahadguna kirtananeva krishnasya mukta sangha param jana pram vrajit kriteya dhyayatu vishnum tvetayam yajukomakai dvapare parichayam kalodha hari kirtanat. Then this age, Hari Kirtan, not meditation, chanting and hearing Krishna's name, not temple worship, not yajna, kolo Hari Kirtan, to hear and chant the holy name of the Lord. And this is the one thing, the one good thing about this Kali Yuga. Doshinade. Kali Yuga means doshinade. Faults in politics. You know, politicians making wild promises to bring prosperity and jobs, and lowering taxes and reducing crime, blah, 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 blah. But once they're elected, same thing every day. Same thing, nothing changes. So faults in politics, faults in the food we eat, the air we breathe, the water we drink, faults in relationships. You see everything faulty. Dosha an ocean of faulty things in Kali Yuga. But one good thing, Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Bhajet. Just by chanting Krishna's holy name, when it's liberated, and Param Bhajet goes back to Godhead. Such a simple thing. Such a simple thing. Nam Namakari Bahodin Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatarpitan Demata Smarane Nakalaha Etadashi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idvisham Ihajani Nanuragaha. What is our disease? Krishna and Krishna's name, we're saying he has hundreds and thousands, millions of names. And each of those names is imbued with all his mercy, his power, his beauty, his compassion, his love. But Durdaiva, I'm so fallen, I have no attachment for them. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana Ratina Janmi Loke Netai. Narottam Das Thakur sings. That this Goloka Prem, the relationship of the residents of Goloka, what is their feeling for Krishna? And how does it come to this world? Nam Sankirtan, Golokera Prema Dhana, the wealth of Prema, of Goloka, comes to this world in the form of Harinam Sankirtan. But Ratina Janmi Loke Netai. Narottam Das Thakur is lamenting, I have no Rati. I have no love for the holy name. I'm so unfortunate. I'm so fallen. Until we come to that stage of admitting what is our condition and having intense feeling to rectify our fallen condition, what is the scope for ever chanting Shuddha Nam? We should beg that Nam Ruchi, to have feeling, love for the holy name, to have reciprocation, to understand the holy name as a person. But we think of so many things when we chant japa. And this is offensive. Why? Just like imagine if Prime Minister Narendra Modi walked into your home. What would you do? Say, oh, hey, Narendra, how's it going, man? Would you greet him in such a casual way? Would you ignore him? He's come to your home. Would you ignore him? But we ignore the holy name, Krishna, every day when we chant his name, because we're busy thinking of family and money and home and prestige and honor and position and bank balance, hundreds of thousands of things other than Krishna. So we have to hear about Krishna. We have to hear the glories of Krishna, to have substance, to have food for our mind to chew on, for our mind to remember his beauty, his compassion, his leela, his associates, his dham, all of the things, gun, roop, nam, gun, roop, parikar, vishishta, everything in relationship with Krishna. So our mind is full of Krishna when we chant Krishna's name. And this is the process to get love of God. This is the only process, the only authorized process in this age to get love of God, not by yagya. Srila Prabhupada, they teach the kids here yagya in Mayapur, which is good for sanskaras, for wedding, for simanta, they call what the simanta, and all the different sanskars. It's good for that. But this will never give you prema. Prabhupada comments in one purport that feeding Vaishnavas is more efficacious. You'll get better result just by feeding Vaishnavas than you'll get from doing yagya. You know, swaha, 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 very good. But it's not everything. What is a yagya for this name, for this age, that is so important that God himself comes to participate in it and teach it? Harinam Sankirtam. Jagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. Yajanti means worship. How do we worship the Lord in the age of Kali? By Nam Sankirtan. Krishna Krishnavanam Trisha Krishnam Sango Pangashta Parshadam Jagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. The Lord comes himself, Krishnavanam, vibrating the two syllables Krishna. And Krishna Varna means that he is of the category of Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Swayam Rup Bhagavan. He's not incarnation of Krishna. He's Swayam Rup, the original form of Krishna Radha Bhavajuti Savalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. Original personality, Sham Sundar. Covered. How does Sham Sundar become Gaur Sundar? Radha Bhavajuti Savalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. He's Krishna Swarup, the original personality of Godhead. Touched by the bhava, the duty, the effulgence of Srimati Radharani. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came to this age to participate in Harinam Sankirtan and to preach Harinam Sankirtan all over the world. This is our business also, as members of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. We're not interested to sit in a solitary place for our own selfish benefit. Our interest is the interest of the Lord himself. Therefore we say this prayer, Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. That Rupa Goswami, who in Krishna Leela is Rupa Manjari, the most intimate servitor of Srimati Radharani, he is, in this world, he is the most authoritative person to speak. What is the manobishtam? What is the mental, what is the innermost desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And what is that? Stopping tam jayandabani swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapandantikam, to establish the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is what? Pritevete acha jatanagoradi gram sarvatra pachora hoibi more nam. This is a mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not smart. He didn't come to teach Smaranam, to sit in a holy place, a solitary place. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, what kind of a Vaishnava? This is all cheating. This is all cheating process. To sit in a solitary place for cheap adoration as a great sadhu, chanting 1 lakh or 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs of Harinam. This is cheating. Rejected by our acharyas. This is not the example that was shown by our Srila Prabhupada and by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 500 Namhattas under him, and he designated himself as the sweeper of the Namhatta, to keep everything clean and pure, to not allow any unauthorized conception enter into the Namhatta, which is manifest today as our Bhakti Vrikshas. Here in Mayapur, in West Bengal, there's 1 million participants in Namhatta. This was a prediction of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he was very, very active, had 500 Namhattas under him. Always traveling, preaching, writing. He left this world so many invaluable literatures. Kalyana Kalpataru, Gita, Gitavali, Sharanagati. All these beautiful, heartfelt renderings of devotional ecstasy in simple Bengali prose. These are the activities of empowered acharyas. Prabhupada said one time, is that if you want to have love, like the gopis have for Krishna, what is the process? That you preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. This is the process. Not sitting in a solitary place doing lakhs of Harinam. Go out and preach. Do something for the welfare of human society. Naivodvijay paradaratya vaitaranyas tadvirya gayana mahammata bhagna cheta socheta to vimukha cheta sa indriyartha maya sukhaya baramudvahato vimudhan. Prahlad Maharaj said that I have no problem. I've taken to Krishna Bhakti. I'll easily cross Vaitarani River, the river that separates the material world from the spiritual world. I'll easily go back to Godhead. No problem. But one thing makes my heart bleed, gives me great socheta tovi mukha chetasa indriyartha, to see these foolish rascals, baramudvahatom vimudhan, these foolish dogs and hog-like people carrying the huge burden of material sense gratification, desire for material sense gratification, and are wasting their human form of life as a result. My heart bleeds for them. Prayena deva vimukti kama, prayena deva muneo swavimukti kama, maunam charanti vajane na parartha nishta. That they're self-interested. Na parartha nishta, they have no feeling for the welfare of human society. They're selfish, self-interested. Only for their own liberation, they go to holy places. They sit in a cave and meditate. Or they go to Vrindavan, or to Mayapur, or to Puri, to some holy place and sit and do smaranam, What is our smaranam? Thinking of the mission of our acharyas. What did Prabhupada do? What did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur do? What did Bhaktivinoda Thakur do? What were they? They were preachers of Krishna consciousness. This is also our family business. As Saraswati Thakur gave to Prabhupada, Prabhupada gave to his disciples, we're also trying to encourage other devotees. Take up this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his Manobhishtam. This is the perfection of Smaranam, remembering Krishna, how to think of Krishna, how to please Krishna, how to engage in activities for his happiness, for his pleasure. So this is our meditation. This is our sadhana. Preaching is part of our sadhana, because this holy name of Krishna will deliver us. Apana sanskriting gorang yanama vivisogrananta tasadyo vimucheta yad babeti swayam bhayam. Bhagavatam says one is immediately freed from the entangling nature of material life simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna. Many wonderful shlokas come glorifying the process of chanting Krishna's name. In 6th canto of Bhagavatam, when the Yamadutas approached Ajamil to drag him before Yamaraj for judgment, in great fear, he called out the name of his son. He called out Narayan. And the Vishnudutas came. And at that juncture, there are many beautiful verses that come. Sanketyam parihasyam va stobam helanam eva va vaikunta nama grahanam asheshaga haram vidu. Sanketyam means what Ajamil did. He is calling for his son, but by the mercy of the Lord, who recognized his previous life of devotion as a good brahmachari, as a pujari, worshipping Narayan, serving his father, sattvic in behavior, nice Brahmin, nice brahmachari. Lord acknowledged that. So by his inspiration, he inspired Ajamil in his sinful life. You named your youngest son Narayan. So he was always chanting Narayan. Narayan, come here. Narayan, come eat. Narayan, go to bed. Narayan, time to go to school. He's always chanting Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. So when he saw the fearsome form of the Yamadutas with big teeth and hair going everywhere, wrinkled faces, big body, with ropes to drag him to Yamaraj, he became terrified and chanted Narayan. He was calling for his son. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that he was calling for his son, but by the vibration of Narayan, he remembered original Chaturbhuj Narayan. So Vishnudutas came and they spoke this verse. So Sanketya means chanting Lord's name, but you're meaning something else. For example, I once saw a hippie guy in the park playing with his dog. He was throwing the stick for his dog. The dog would go chase it. And he had named his dog Krishna. Probably not a good idea to name your dog Krishna, but his dog was named Krishna. So he was shouting, Krishna, 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 come here. Krishna, come, sit, Krishna. Bad dog, Krishna. He's chanting Krishna. His tongue has touched Krishna. So agam, all these sinful activities of his life go away because he's chanted Krishna. Even though he means something else, he's chanted Krishna. His tongue has touched Krishna. His consciousness has touched Krishna. Even agyana, atavagyana, uttama shloka namayat, sankirtita magam pumso jahadato yatanala. Another verse that comes in that section. No matter how one chants in knowledge or in ignorance, however one chants, it destroys an ocean of sins, just like fire burns through a field of dry grass. It burns to ashes all our sinful activities. So this boy was chanting Krishna. He named his dog Krishna. Sanketyam parihasyam. Parihasyam means if they chant in joke. In the early days of ISKCON, we would be on the streets of major cities all over America. And people would look at us. They'd never seen devotees before. Like, who are these people? Like, where's your spaceship? Where you guys come from? Shaven-headed, saffron cloth, singing and dancing on the street. So we'd pass out mantra cards, says Hare Krishna, H-A-R-E. So they'd read it hare, like a rabbit. Rabbit is also called a hare. So they say Hare Krishna. And they thought that was very funny. They say, oh no, not Hare Krishna, H-A-I-R, Hare Krishna. No, hairless Krishnas, bald people, hairless Krishnas, ha 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 ha. They'd make a joke, but their tongue and consciousness has touched Krishna. Agam, all these sins of our life are destroyed just by parihasyam, by chanting the holy name and joke. Stobam means for musical entertainment. George Harrison, perhaps the most popular musician the world has seen, with the most popular influential group, the Beatles, made one song, My Sweet Lord. I really want to see you. I really want to be with you, but it's so hard. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They're singing Hare Krishna, and it was #1 in the top record, top most popular record song, top of the charts, record album. Hundreds of thousands of people were singing that song. This is Stobam. Did he make the song to become a resident of Goloka, to go back to God? He made the song for money. He's a businessman. He's a musician. That's what he does for a living. This is Stobam for musical entertainment. But Asheshaga Haram Vidu. All learned persons say, however you touch Krishna's name, you become liberated of all sinful activities and approach the supreme destination. Helanam means inattentive chanting. We're also guilty of that, as we were discussing. So even the name Krishna is coming from your mouth, but your mind is not with Krishna. So this is called inattentive chanting, 10th offense, also Namapurad. But what is the solution? What is the antidote for Namapurad? Is chanting. Namapurada yuktanam namaneva harante gama vishranti prayuktani tanyavarti karanicha. We make offenses to the holy name, but what is the antidote for the chanting of the inattentive or offensive chanting of the holy name? How to overcome offensive chanting of the holy name? By chanting holy name, except one offense. That offense is Vaishnava Puran, Sadhu Ninda. Other offenses can be mitigated. You can cross over, you can become free from those offenses just by chanting. But Sadhu Ninda, Vaishnava Puran, if you offend a Vaishnava or Vaishnavi, you have to go to that person and bow down and beg forgiveness with all your heart, admitting, I'm such a rascal, I'm very fallen, I'm prone to offend devotees. Please, with all my heart, I beg forgiveness from you. We have to approach that devotee if we make offense to them. Other offenses can be overcome just by the chanting of the holy name. So this is Helanam. So this verse is telling us that no matter how you chant Krishna's name, you'll be ultimately be delivered from this material world. Because it was Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, anyone, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually, said anyone who chants the holy name even once, is a Vaishnava. Most liberal definition of Vaishnava. So holy name is everything. Not puja, not yagya, not these ritualistic activities. Bhagavatam says, mantratas tantratas chiddam, deshakalarta vastata, sarvam karoti nischidram anu sankirtanam tava. When we offer puja or we do yagya, there's inevitably some fault. Desha kala patra, faults in place, in ingredients, in place, in personality, in paraphernalia. There's bound to be some imperfection, because this is Kali Yuga. It's not the age to worship God by puja. We worship God Jagai Sankirtanam Praya. Yajanti, we worship by Nam Sankirtan. But it's not that we neglect these other things. Our acharyas, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, they all built temples. They all installed the deity for the benefit of society. But it's not the Yuga Dharma. This chanting is Yuga Dharma. So we're on Sarvam Koroti Nischidram. When there's the chanting of the holy name, everything becomes perfect. Everything becomes perfect. Because the holy name is Krishna himself. Krishna himself comes, he's present. Naham tishtami vaikunte yoginam hridaye shuva. I don't remember the rest of the verse. Anyway, he says that wherever, I said, I'm not in the heart of the meditating yogi. I'm not in Vaikuntha. Where am I? I'm in the wherever my devotees gather together. Hari Sada Vasat Tatra Yatra Bhagavata Jana Gayanti Bhakti Bhavina Harinama Eva Kevalam. And I'm in that place where my devotees sing with ecstasy my holy name. Chris personally
Haribol.
present. Yes. Haribol.
Yeah. And I was asking somebody to stop the speaking. I'm here in the class. Okay.
Okay. So, where was I? Harisanama Sattatra, wherever devotees gather to chant the holy name, that Krishna is personally present. This is Yajanti. Yajanti Sumedasa. Who is Sumedasa? Who is highly intelligent? The person who can grasp this concept that God is available in sound. He is available in sound. Srila Prabhupada said, and Shastra says also, that we see God not with our eyes. Everybody wants to see God with their eyes. If there's God, show him to me. They don't think, do I have the qualification to see God? But they make this challenge, show him to me. But let him come playing his flute. I want to see. But we see God how? With our ear. By allowing this transcendental sound to enter our ear and dance in our heart. Srila Rupa Goswami prayed like that. What's that prayer? There's one prayer. Tunde tanda veniratim vitanute tunda bali labdaye karna kroda kadambini gatayate karna budebhya spriham cheta prangana sangini vijayate sarvendriyanam kritim no jane janita ki adviramitai krishneti vanadvai. He said, I don't know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, I desire millions of mouths. And when I hear that holy name, I desire many millions of ears. And when that holy name dances in the courtyard of my heart, all my material desires become inert. This is the process for seeing Krishna. We see him with our ear. Tam Bhakti Yoga Tam Bhakti Yoga. I don't remember. Anyway, this one statement in Shastra that we see him with our ear, and he is so kind that he manifests himself in our heart in the form in which we contemplate him throughout our life. That's his reciprocation, his anukampartam, and his reciprocation. He appears before us in the form we contemplate in our worship. In our yajanti, he's in our worship of the holy name. Who are you thinking about? You're thinking about your wife, your husband, your kids, your boss, your money, your position? What are you thinking about? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? You're thinking about Jagannath Swami, Radha Krishna. Who are you thinking about? This is chanting. We have to knock this into our dull consciousness that this is chanting of the holy name. This is the whole process. Shastra says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti sudashakam namam kalikama sanasanam, nata parataropaya sarvavedeshu drishyate. That these 16 names of the Lord destroy all the inauspicious things of Kali Yuga. It's the essence of all Vedas. You can study Vedas if it's possible, which it is not, for a human being to absorb the corpus of Vedic knowledge. Impossible in one lifetime. If it were possible, the essence of all of that study is this chanting of these 16 names. Sarvavedeshu drishyate. It's the essence, the cream, the most essential thing to be understood from all of Veda is this chanting of Krishna's name. And it's such an easy thing. Such an easy thing to do. Anyone can chant, make this vibration. But are we actually chanting? This is our problem. This is my problem that I'm trying to overcome. That when I chant Krishna's name, is my mind with Krishna? Or is it thinking about what I dreamt last night, what I have to do today? So many things. Shrotavyadini rajantarandinam shanti sahasrasa apashyatam atma tattvam griheshu grihamedinam. People have hundreds of thousands of topics to discuss and think about because they're devoid of Atma Tattva, devoid of understanding of the self. What is the business of the self? Why are we here? The only purpose of human life is to develop this love of God. And this is the process. This is the whole process of understanding. And so anyone can do it. Kirata hunanda palinda pulkasha abira shumba yavana kashada yenya chapapa yadapashraya shaya shunyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namaha. Aho bata sapachoto guriyan yadshavagri vartate nama tubhyam te pustapaste jahavursasnaraya brahmanuchur nama granatiyete. That no matter where you're born, what class, what social class, what economic class, what caste, whoever you are, if you get the mercy of pure devotee, you can take up this chanting of Krishna's name. And anyone who chants this name, if the holy name Jivagri is on the tip of one's tongue, that person is said to have done all types of sacrifice. He's studied the Vedas. He's gone on Tirtha Yatra. He's done austerity. He's done charity. He's done everything required. He's actual Aryan, even if he's born in the family of dog eaters. The holy name is so powerful. Why we don't have feeling and love for the holy name? This is our disease. Durdaiva midvishami hajani nanuraga, no raga, no feeling for Krishna. But how do we overcome? Just by chanting. Just by chanting. There's a prayer we say in relation to, that pujaris recite, in relation to deity worship. We say, Bhuma uskalita padanam, Bhumireva avalambanam tvai jata paradhanam tvameva sharanam prabhu. This means that if I'm walking on the ground and I trip on the ground, what other shelter do I have but the ground? If I want to walk, I have to walk on the ground. So he says in the same way, O Lord, Nama parada yuktanam namam neva harantagam avishranti prayuktani chandivarti karani cha. Day and night I make offenses to you, but I have no other shelter but you. I have no other shelter but you. So you please accept me as your devotee. Considering me your devotee, please overlook my faults and allow me to be accepted as your devotee. The Mayavadis, they are the proud, ignorant Mayavadis. They posit aham brahmasmi, that I am spirit, that Krishna, he is Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Krishna is Brahman, Rama is Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Krishna and Rama. Rama Krishna. Foolish people. How are you God? Do something, don't just talk. Show your godhood. Krishna lifted Giriraj Govardhan on his little finger of his left hand. And he held it there for 7 days. And he was 8 years old. Challenged him, lift me, pick me up with your little finger. Can you do it? You just big talk, empty talk. What do they say in Hindi? Bakwas. All just empty, useless talk. I won't speak the English, rude English equivalent. What can they do? They just say this. So they say, Aham Brahmasmi. What does the devotee pray? That Aham Tavasmi. I don't want to be you. I want to be yours. Tavasmi Radhika Nata Karmana Manasa Gira Krishna Kante Tavaivasmi Yuvameva Gatir Mama Sharanam Vam Prapanosmi Karuna Nikura Kuro Prasadam Kuru Dasyam Bo Mai Dushte Paradani. I'm a dusht, aparadhi. I'm making offenses day and night. But please think of me as your own. Please accept me as your own. Please let me enter into your entourage. Give me a place to serve you. How can I serve you? Please give me a place. Accept me. Even though Mayi Dushte Paradini. So this is devotees for Karmana Manasa Gira. All my words, my activities, my mind, Manasa Deho Geho Yokichumor Arpilantu Apade Nandakishore. My body, my mind, my house, Yokichumor, whatever little bit I have, I offer to you. How do we develop that feeling? How do we touch that? How do we hope to touch that feeling expressed by our acharyas? By following their instructions. by just following their instructions, doing what they do. We look at the picture of our Guru Parampara. What are they holding in their hand? They're holding mala. Prabhupada's holding japa mala. Saraswati Thakur, japa mala. Gorkishore Das Babaji, he's also chanting internally. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, mala. Gorkishore Das Babaji, Jagannath Das Babaji, mala. We're also holding mala. We're doing the same thing they're doing. This is parampara. And if we do the same thing they're doing, we can expect the same result. Mahajana dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. Mahajano yenagata sapanta. What is the process of dharma? Not an easy thing to understand. It's guhayam, it's secret, not easily understood, confidential. But how do we touch it? How do we approach it? Mahajano yenagata sapanta. We tread the path shown by great souls. So in our life, what greater soul has touched our life besides Srila Prabhupada? There are many great souls, and he's Prabhupada, that Prabhu at whose feet many great souls take refuge. So if we follow his example, if we follow the example of Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then we'll go where they're going, we will also go by following the same path. And they're chanting Krishna's name. So this is the process of smaranam. Smaranam is the product of kirtanam. Shravanam and kirtanam. By hearing and chanting, then we can remember Krishna. And ante narayana smriti. Our hope, our prayer is that when the last breath comes, ante, at the end of life, when we give up this dream, Prabhupada's talking, this purport talks about dream life. What is our life? It is simply a dream. It is simply a dream. We're dreaming. We may dream, I'm a king. Or we may be dreaming, I'm drowning. I'm falling off a cliff. I'm being chased by a tiger. I'm embracing a beautiful woman. It's all a dream. As is a dream when we're lying in bed, this is also a dream. Asangahyayo Purusha, the soul, the Atma, has nothing to do with this material world. But we've been dragged because we've come to this material world. Satam rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhava nibadnanti mahabaho dehi dehinam abhyayam. The soul by nature is pure. It has nothing to do with this material world. But we've fallen here, we become under the influence of satam, rajas, and tamas. Controlled. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma kartaham. We think kartaham, I'm doing everything. But what is the actual fact? We're being dragged by the modes of material nature. We've surrendered our independence, surrendered our innate spiritual nature. And we've come under the control of Prakriti, of Maya. This is our most unhappy, most inauspicious thing for the soul. So what is this life? We're dreaming. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm old, I'm young, I'm rich, I'm knowledgeable, I'm wealthy, I'm a beggar, I'm a king, I'm a Brahmin, I'm a Shudra. Hundreds of thousands of designations are there. Bhakti begins, Sarvupadi Venirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam Rishikesha Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchate. This is all nirmal. We have to become nirmal, free. Right now we're sammal. All these nonsense, material, dream-like designations. We have to become nirmal, free from material designation. Then bhakti begins. Brahmanohi pratishtaham ramitasi. No, I'm forgetting the verse. Anyway, we have to come Brahman platform. We have to come where we na shokshate na kankshate samasaveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate puram. Bhakti begins from there. Begins when we're free from lamentation. We're free from hankering, free from the dualities of material life, from heat and cold, honor and dishonor, happiness and distress, pain, fame and infamy, pleasure and pain, heat and cold. We have to become free from this because they have nothing to do with the self. We're aloof from all of that. We're dreaming. We're living in a dream world. So what is the solution to dream world? If you're being chased by a tiger, do you look for a gun in your dream world, a dreamlike gun to kill the dreamlike tiger? What do? What is the solution? Wake up from the dream. So Jagrata, Prapya Varanibodhita. We have to wake up, get up, Utishta Jagrata, wake up, get up from this dream, wake up from the dream of material life. Jeev Jago, Jagora Chandra Bole, Kota Nidra Jao Maya Pisachira Kole. Lord himself is singing, my dear Jiva, my dear conditioned soul, how long will you sleep with your head on the lap of the witch called Maya? How long? How long you'll sleep with this witch of Maya, dreaming about success, dreaming about increasing bank balance, dreaming about promotion at work, dreaming about having beautiful children, dreaming about recognition and pratishta and pride and position. How long will dream? We have to wake up. So Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada quotes Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Michai Mara Boshe Jacha Besha Kacha Habudububai. We're being tossed, sometimes riding the crest of so-called dreamlike happiness, sometimes in the trough of despair, dreamlike despair. It's all a dream. What is the solution? He says in the next verse, Jeev Krishna Das Vishwas Korle Toro Dukkonai. How do we become free from all this unhappiness, this dreamlike nightmare of material life? Admit, Jeev Krishna Das Vishwas. Have faith. Have faith. I'm nothing but the eternal servant of Krishna. And then dukkha, no more misery will leave you. We have something to look forward to. We have a brilliant future. We have Goloka to look forward to. Radha Krishna Seva. Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Eya Bilasi. We pray every morning. Shrimati Tulsi Mani. Give me a place. Give me a service to Radha Krishna. Eneve Danadara Sakiranu Gatakoro Seva Adikoro Diye Koro Nija Dasi. We should contemplate the purport of the songs we sing. This is another nonsense Maya that we get into. We sing the song and our mind is somewhere else. We're not even contemplating the meaning of this. What is the meaning? We're praying to Brinda Devi. We're begging Brinda Devi for Radha Krishna Seva, to serve Radha Krishna. Give me the adhikar. Give me the adhikar to serve Radha Krishna. Make me your dasi. What does it mean? Anugatya. The Sakhi Anugatya. This means Manjari. We're requesting Tulsi Maharani to give us most intimate service to Radha Krishna. And people think, why are we bowing down to this plant? Sometimes we're so dull. This is the highest thing, and Tulsi Maharani, Brinda Devi can give it to you. So we pray for this thing. Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore Jivanamarani Gati Ar Nahi More. I don't want anything else in my life but service to Radha Krishna. Ar Nahi More. Nothing more than that. So how can we hope that these feelings will manifest in our life someday? Only by Harinam. Harinama, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalo, Nasteva, 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 Gatir Anyata. Yeah. What is our gati? What is our objective in life? Radha Krishna Seva. Now, how to get there? Chanting Krishna's name is the means and it's the end. We're chanting Hare Krishna, and at the end of life, we're serving Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna in Goloka, Radha Krishna here in Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we should serve the holy name. Ataksha Krishna Namadi, Nabevet Grayam Indriya, Sevan Mukhi Jivado, Swayam Eva Spuratyata. Srila Prabhupada's beloved godbrother, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridham Raj, said something very wonderful about this verse. Important thing. He said, without Sevan Mukata, without service to the holy name, then the holy name will become impotent. We have to serve the holy name. He gave an example. When they have a race, like Olympic race, the racers all line up on the starting blocks and they're ready to go. And there's a person with a starting gun and he pulls the trigger, bam, and they all start off. Now that gun makes a big noise, but there's no bullet. What kind of effect can it have? It's a blank. It's shooting blanks. So I said, Maharaj was saying we shoot blanks if we don't have service attitude to the holy name. How is that manifest? How do we manifest service to the holy name? Serving Vaishnavas, distributing the holy name, serving an institution that distributes the chanting of the holy name all over the world. This is Sevan Mukata, service to the holy name. So we should also have this mood, not just I'm chanting for my benefit, but I'm chanting to please be accepted. Oh Lord, oh energy of the Lord, please engage me in your transcendental service. And what is the most pleasing thing to the holy name? To infuse another person with the enthusiasm to chant the holy name, to appreciate the value of chanting the holy name. This is service to the holy name. So I see we're out of time. And we didn't get to the other point in the purport Srila Prabhupada mentioned, but it's also an important thing that God is understood as Brahman. That's truth. As Advaya Gyan. God is Brahman. He is everywhere. Adantarasta Paramana Chayantarastam. He's within the atom. Where isn't God? If the entire creation of God is nothing but God himself. The creation is as good as God. Where isn't he? He's distributed everywhere. Ekadishtasasyagner Jyotsnir Vistarinam Yata Akilam Brahman, I can't remember the verse. Anyway, that just as a light is situated in one place, it distributes that light everywhere. Krishna is in Goloka, but his energy is everywhere. He distributes himself everywhere and within everything. Where is it God? This is Brahman feature. Paramatma. Sarvasya chaham pridi. Ishvara sarvabhutanam pridya share janatishti. Bhagavad Gita tells us different places. Where is he? He is in our heart. This is Paramatma feature. But what is the ultimate feature? The most charming feature? The most desired feature? The goal of our life is Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Gopi Paranadana, Yashomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana, Kaliya Dhamana, Gokula, that Madana Manohara Kaliya Dhamana Vidhana. These beautiful bhajans. We meditate on the name of Krishna and associate the meaning of that name to the Leela of the Lord. This is Bhagavan, not just because these names give prema, not Bhagavan, Parameshwara, Paramatma. These names are generic names of God. We're worshippers of Gopi Paranadana, that Krishna for whom the gopis, he's the wealth of the heart of the gopis. Kaliya Dhamana, who's dancing on the heads of Kaliya. And the residents of Vrindavan are at the bank of Jamuna, dying in separation. Mother Yashoda has to be restrained by Balaram. Balaram has to hold Mother Yashoda back. She's ready to dive into Jamuna to save her Lala. And the cows are dying. The gopis are dying and seeing Krishna. Krishna is no problem. Said, okay, these Brajvasis, they're experiencing, okay, let me dance on his head. So when we sing these names, Kaliya Dhamana, we should remember the Leela. Gopi Paranadana, we should remember the feeling the gopis have for Krishna. Gokula Ranjana Kana, that he's Kana, his intimate friend of the devotees who call him by nickname. Hey Kana, you ready? Come on, let's go. They have feeling for Krishna, not just Bhagavan, God, the Supreme Lord, the controller, the Paramatma. We think of him in this way. And that feeling can only come in this age by chanting his holy name. Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. Thank you very much for your kind attention and giving me the opportunity to say something about this beautiful Srimad Bhagavatam. Does anyone have any comments?
Jai Ho, Jai Ho.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Oh,
Jai
it's my revered godbrother, Ram Shraddha Prabhu. Koti Koti Dandavad.
Jai Ho, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to
Jai.
Guru and God. I was
Here's
hearing a nectarian class. That's what I thought.
But you're the personification of everything I was talking about. When I hear you sing, I hear your bhava, your feeling for holy name, Prabhu. I love your kirtan too much.
Please don't do Ati Stuti. Okay. Leave me where I am.
Okay.
They are only personification of all Kali Yuga's qualities. Kalo dosha nijaraja. The dosha is full in the heart. You're far away from the other thing. You know, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nam Namakari Bhavda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Maha. Durdaivam Vidrisham Yachandi Nanuraga. We are Durdaiva, unfortunate. We have no taste, even though everything is so easy.
Every great devotee says the same thing, so I can understand your position, Prabhu. Mahaprabhu, this is Mahaprabhu's prayer. Who has greater
Yes.
Nam Ruchi than Mahaprabhu? So all great
Yeah.
devotees make this prayer. So this devotee
Yeah.
Ramchandra Prabhu is my revered godbrother. He stays here in Mayapur. Right on bank of Ganga, his most beautiful home. Right on the confluence of Ganga and Saraswati. Radha Raman Mandir is worshipping very, very beautiful Radha Raman in his home. Very sanctified place. Full of sanctified devotees.
You have to come here and sanctify it more from all the craziness what we go through.
Whatever. I'm just like a hermit. Nonsense
I'm
hermit.
inviting all our devotees there in the forum in this Bhagavatam class. You know, told all the devotees whenever they come to Mayapur, they should visit us. Purify
True.
us.
True, very true.
Okay, great soul. Thank you so much for this nice class.
Okay, thank you.
Hari
Please,
bol.
please excuse any mistake.
Ah, fantastic. What is so mistake
Okay.
about that?
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for very nectarine class. So many
Thank you,
points.
Maridhar Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Anyone has any question, comment, correction?
Hare Krishna, Roji Dandat Pranam, all great Prabhupada. Such a nectarian class. This is a very central theme that we are all sleeping. Kato nidra jao tum maya pisha chira kol jeev jago. The essence of Mahaprabhu's clarion call to wake up. It is so nice verse you explained. It is with so nectarian connections to so many other verses in other scriptures. We enjoyed it so much. Thank you for your purifying association, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. If you're happy, I'm happy, Prabhuji. Actually, it's Krishna giving what actually happens is when devotees are sincere to hear, then the speaker gets some inspiration from the Lord. I can't claim proprietorship over Shastra. Rather, the inspiration comes because you're all nice devotees and wanting to hear something about Harinam and devotional life. So I'm just a via medium for the mercy. So I'm benefited, you're benefited, we all become happy and Krishna conscious. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha machchita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantastamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. This is how we enjoy hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna. Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai vancha kalpatribhischa kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this nectarian class, and I like how you explain so deeply about the chanting and Nama Aparadh, and we should not just focus on our chanting only, but go out and preach to the people outside.
Yeah.
So that's
Tomorrow morning, when you pick up your mala, remember what I said.
yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Hare
Okay.
Krishna. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much.
Hare Bol.
His Grace Sarvdrik Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.